Hello friends, 514 days over. Let us have quick update from the war zones. In north, from Liman to Kupiansk direction, no big or appreciable changes have taken place. In Kupiansk direction, the Russians have amassed a large number of troops and firepower, and numerically much superior than those of Ukrainians. Nonetheless, they haven't launched any major offensive, and neither looks like has any plan in near future. Though they have managed some minor gains here and there. And similar is the situation in east, where the Ukrainians have the initiative, especially on Bakhmut front, wherein in southern direction they have managed some more gains, but in north of Bakhmut nothing much have changed place, where the Russians too tried offensive but did not succeed much. Ukrainians are also trying towards Andriivka and Kurdyumovka, but nothing much have been gained. And in Ugledar, the Ukrainian offensive was repulsed by the Russians, and now in eastern zone as well as in southern parts of the war zone, Ukrainians are using cluster bombs without any restrictions. In south, southwest, south and northwest of Zaporizhia, some minor gains of losses have taken place for the Ukrainians, but no major changes have taken place. It seems that the Ukrainians are preparing some major offensive on various axes after they have been able to clear many minefields all along the battle line, and also Russian controlled trenches after massive uses of cluster munitions. Russians have not started using cluster bombs even after Ukrainians are using, and after Putin has said openly that they too have enough amount of cluster bombs and they will be using it. And it must be known that the uses of cluster bombs have been banned globally by the international conventions. Interdiction missions are on from both the sides. The Russians are continuing interdiction missions in Odisha and on Odisha port, and continued fourth night after the grain deal was terminated, and have caused massive destruction of Ukrainian arms, ammunitions, oil depot, as well as various infrastructure in Odisha as well as on Odisha port. After massive uses of cluster bombs by the Ukrainians and even getting successes, and also we know that shortly they will be using various kinds of fighter bombs as well as long-range missiles which would reach not only adjacent Russian territories but even Moscow and beyond. We know that the war will escalate, and so does Pentagon as well as NATO, but they want it to escalate. Putin has said in the meantime that it is up to Ukraine whether or not to give its western regions to Poland, Hungary and Romania. Russia won't interfere. As far western Belarus is concerned, Russia will respond to any aggression against Belarus with all means of available resources. I either have not understood what Putin wanted to say, or if I have understood, I would say that in that case, why did he oppose Ukraine's desire to join NATO if part of Ukraine is being merged into these countries who are members of NATO? Well, that is the latest as far as the war zones in Ukraine is concerned. And that's all for the day from my side. Have a nice day, friends.